Good afternoon, students. I'm your English teacher, Rano Zaripova. Today, we are going to talk about the problems, tasks that everybody faces on their life, and which we should solve rather than ignore. You have probably guessed already that the topic of today's lesson is called Problem Course. First, look at the plan. The first plan is to read the quotes and discuss them. The second is new vocabulary. The third is types of problems. The fourth is listening the text about problem course. And the last one is activity, where you need to match the words and definitions. Let's start from the quotes now. Have you heard a quote like, every problem is a gift? Without problems, we would not grow. This quote has been told by Anthony Robbins. Do you know who is he? He is an American writer, inspirational speaker, and business coach who has a reputation on the topic of self-development. So, how can we grow with the problem? Let me explain you the meaning of this quote. Everyone does the mistake in life. When you have a problem, don't lose your self-confidence and don't be panic. Just try to solve the root of the problem. If you think that it's not your problem and ignore it, in the future just be ready for big chaos. Your best teacher is your last mistake. That's why you should push yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. There are a lot of wise sayings and quotes how to find a solution. But my problem now is that I've got lack of time to explain you today's topic in detail. That's why you've just listened and all the tasks you have got in your Moodle content and do your tasks in time, please. Is everything clear for you guys? If yes, please write down today's new vocabulary. I'll read the English version. Superficial, reconciliation, hastily, poverty, repeatedly, pollution, likelihood, discourse, desertification or deforestation, assumption. So, is everything clear? Okay, next. Now let's talk about the types of problems. Today we are going to discuss about three main categories of the problems. They are the following. First, physical courses. Second, human courses. Third, organizational courses. Let's start from the physical course. Physical course has been divided in many subcategories. You can see the alcohol, tobacco, mental health, injury and violence, overweight, and environmental quality. And I'll give you some of these examples of them. So, the first and main problem, which one? Of course, is alcohol. I think you all know that alcohol is dangerous for human life because it has got toxic and psychoactive, means affecting to your mind and brain, substance with dependence producing properties. I'm not going to talk about it for the whole lesson. I'll give you the statistic about it, and I'm sure you'll understand how alcohol is dangerous for you. Do you know that alcohol consumption contributes to 3 million deaths each year? Please, guys, calculate now. How many is the population of our city, Bukhara? It is 300,000 people. Now divide 3 million into 300,000 people. Yes, it's equal to 10, isn't it? Now imagine that population of 10 cities like Bukhara die from alcohol. Can you imagine it? Okay, next problem is smoking. You know that once you start smoking, it's very, very hard to stop. Smoking is a hard habit to break because tobacco contains the very addictive chemical nicotine. As with heroin or other addictive drugs, the body and mind quickly get used to the nicotine in cigarettes. Soon a person needs to have it just to feel normal. People start smoking for different reasons. Someone think it looks cool, others start because their family members or friends smoke. Almost all adult tobacco users started before they were 18 years old. Most never expected to become addicted. That's why it's so much easier to not start smoking at all. Okay, guys, let's go to the next problem course at human course. It has a lot of subcategories as well. The first is overuse of electricity. Next is industry, agriculture, transportation, deforestation, and overfishing. The first is overuse of electricity. As a result of overuse of electricity, we feel the global warming because of climate change. We use electric devices which need too much energy. This is the time when people would feel the outcome of their actions. You can expect extreme weather. There will be floods, forest fire events, and drought. This will also significantly affect the crops of the farmers. Many of these crops will be destroyed, which would mean a decrease in food supply. Let's go to next category, which is industry. The public and the environment are at risk from the exposure to both ionizing radiation. Sources include radioactive materials, X-ray machines and accelerators, and non-ionizing radiation. Sources include electrical installations, mobile broadcasting centers, and lasers. The purpose of the license conditions is to protect the environment and the public from radiation exposure and to regulate the establishment and operation of radiation sources. Let's go to the next. We have got lack of time. Problem course. Let's go to next category of problem course. It's organizational course. The most global problem in the organizational, you can see here, bureaucracy, corruption, conflicts, no team cohesion, lack of resources, misunderstood strategy. Let's talk about conflict. The more global problem in the organization is a conflict. It can be conflict between colleagues. First, what you need to do is to clarify the problem. It's important to take the time to hear all of the concerns and to get a good understanding of what the problem is. Try to work toward identifying each party's interest and note their position as it relates to the conflict. Understanding another person's interest, why it's important to them, can help separate the person from the problem. For example, if there are limited resources to support a team project, try to listen to concerns from each party about the potential impact those resources have and how it might affect their ability to achieve employee goals. Next problem in the organization is bureaucracy. It's an organization made up of many departments and divisions that are administered by lots of people. If you have ever had to deal with health insurance or financial aid, you are familiar with the dark side of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy has a bad reputation because it has come to mean an organization or government that is chin deep in red tape and unnecessary procedures. When dealing with a bureaucracy, expect to fill out lots of forms and wait. Next, let's listen to the text which is given in your book on page 62.
Scale Up, Course 2, Student's Book, Unit 1, Global Problems. Lesson 1, Problem Codes. Listen to the conversation between a student and her tutor on topic How to Reveal Root Causes of Problems. Professor, may I ask you for some suggestions for my library research paper?
Yes, of course. What's the problem?
I'm writing a research paper about arising problems. I'm really confused. What should I begin with?
Oh, the way I see it, you should begin with analyzing root cause of problems. If you only set a problem going superficially, the problem will happen again, which will lead to reiteration of action concerning the same problem. You should look deeper to reveal root causes of the problem, fix underlying systems and processes.
So how to understand to reveal root cause of problem?
To reveal root cause of problems is identifying the region of the problems. There is a specific set of steps to find the initial cause of the problem, so the first thing you do is determining the incident, and then you should clarify its reasons, and at last you will have to find out ways of reducing the likelihood in case it happens again.
Well, are there any peculiarities of identifying the origin of problems?
Certainly. Taking everything into account, all systems and events are interconnected. Actions trigger one another, and so on until they become a problem. By tracing back these actions, you can clarify the root of the problem and how it becomes the problem you're facing.
Usually problems are quite different. Are there any common types of causes?
Yes, there are. Causes are classified into three basic types. The first type is a physical cause, which depends on tangible, material items failing in some way. Such causes exist in all spheres of life. Physical causes in medicine trigger different symptoms concerning human health. Different natural disasters are also examples of physical causes. In technical sphere, for example, a car's engine stopped working or something wrong with your home appliances. Briefly, there is no fault of a human. A problem arises because of physical phenomena.
What about other causes? Second, third ones?
Well, second type occurs just because of humans' irresponsibility or indifference to the things happened around. Human causes appear when people did something wrong or did not do something what was needed. Human causes typically lead to physical causes. For example, no one filled the brake fluid, which led to the brakes failing. Last one is an organizational cause, which arises because of a system, process, or policies that people use to make decisions or do their work is faulty. For example, no one person was responsible for vehicle maintenance, and everyone assumed someone else had filled the brake fluid.
Yeah, I see. But is it necessary to clarify all types of causes?
It is desirable to look at all three types of causes. It involves investigating new patterns of negative effects, finding hidden flaws in the system, and discovering specific actions that contributed to the problem. Thus, you can reveal more than one root cause. You can do such kind of analysis almost in any situation. Be careful to understand when you have found a significant cause that can, in fact, be changed.
Oh, thank you for your good advice, Professor. I'll do my best in preparing my paper. May I ask you to check my paper after I finish it?
Oh, yes, you are welcome. With pleasure, of course. No problem.
So, how did you like this text? Did you understand everything? Okay. Later, in the next lesson, I'll ask you some questions about this, and this text you need to translate whole text. So, now let's do the activity about problem course. So, you have got 3 anecdotes here. You need to read and write down their problem course types. I'll read it for you. You just listen and put these 3 types of courses, problem courses. They're physical, human, and organizational, which we talked about them. Okay, the road is so badly repaired that my neighbor recently has had a misfortune to get the back wheel of her car stuck in one of the enormous potholes outside my gate. She wasn't only most distressed by the incident, but Elsa had to pay for a breakdown truck to pull her car out. Do you understand? Next. Once I asked my secretary to prepare documents for the conference. She was very responsible, so I didn't even suspect that she could feel me. But when I came to the office, nothing was ready. She said that one of our colleagues made her do his work, and she couldn't refuse him, as she was an aged person. Next, the thing that worries me most about the world is increasing of ozone hole. There has been dramatic increase in number of cases of skin diseases due to the damage to the ozone layer. Did you understand? Why you're not smiling? Not laughing? Okay. So, I'll give you just 1 minute to do this task. So, let's check. The first one is organizational course. Because the road, it's not for human and not for physical. It's for organizational system of their transportation. That's why we say that it's organizational course, human course. About secretary. What did she do? Did she prepare the documents in time? It's human course. And physical course. What about ozone hole? Can it be skin disease? Of course no. That's why it's good anecdotes, isn't it? So let's do the next task, which is very, very interesting. I prepared it for you for listening as well. Let's listen it together. Are you ready? Let's listen then. Problem-solving story. It's for reading task as well. You can read it with me as well. How a daughter solved her father's tough puzzle. Tough means difficult. One day a father had so much work he had to bring it home. After he prepared dinner and ate it with his family, he went into his home office to work. But his little daughter constantly distracted him in an attempt for him to make him play with her, to keep her busy. The man tore a page of a printed map of the world from a magazine into pieces and asked her to go to her room and put them together to make the map again. The daughter was very, very young, and he was pretty sure that she would take hours to get it done. The father was surprised when he saw his little girl coming out of the room with a smile and the perfect man within a few minutes. The stuntman asked his daughter, how she could solve the puzzle so quickly. "Daddy, there is a woman's face on the other side of the paper. When I made the face perfect, I got the map right," replied the young girl with a big smile. Proud of his daughter's ingenuity, he decided to take some time from work and spend it with her. Did you understand? So, how is the story? What did you understand? So, how did daughter solve the problem? In a minute. Yes, because of the whose girl's face on the other side of the paper. The woman's face on the other side of the paper. And that's why she solved this problem in a second. So every problem, like we should remember that every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. So at the end, I'd like to say you thank you. Our lesson is over and goodbye.